Good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Board of Trustees, April 16th, 2019. And now we'll be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by our trustee, Garner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will now have the roll call.
Trustee Ash?
Here.
Trustee Brown?
Here.
Trustee Criswell?
Here.
Trustee Daniels?
Here.
Trustee Garner?
Here.
Trustee McIntyre?
Here.
Trustee Sutton?
Here.
Thank you. Now we'll have the approval of the agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. Now, do we have any patrons and petitioners in the audience that would like to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on to the recognitions and presentations. Do we have the Tech Culinary students here today? And we would like to say thank you for that wonderful breakfast this morning.
Good morning, trustees. Thank you for allowing numerous things. I have the culinary team. Chef Justin's going to talk about the culinary team and their successes this season. And I also have Chef Richard and our students, part of the students who helped in preparing and serving you breakfast this morning. And so thank you again for allowing these opportunities. Without you all and the support of the college, these opportunities would not be possible. They're a huge benefit and asset to the students, which they're our number one. So I'm going to introduce Chef Justin first. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Chef Justin Mitchell. I'm the high school instructor for Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and I would like to introduce Raina and Lindsay. They were two of our competitors for this year's 2018-2019 high school culinary competition team. Every year we compete against 14 to 15 different schools within Kansas City, Missouri, or the state of Missouri and the state of Kansas. And this year we took 5 young ladies, full team of all women, that competed, and they took second silver medal against those 14, 15 teams across Kansas and Missouri. And we picked the team back in November, and we started practicing in January and competed in February. It was an American Culinary Federation rules competition, so that's the highest standard in the culinary community, and the ladies did really well. Raina, if you could introduce yourself real quick and talk about the dish that you did.
Well, you guys already know who I am. I'm Raina, and I did the entree. It has steak, mushroom puree, it has mushroom, it has leeks, and it has pot dauphines. And this was the entree.
Can we have that for lunch?
Absolutely.
And this is Lindsay. She was our team manager.
So when I managed, I only well, I took times and let them all stay on track. And this was the dessert. It was an apple tower pie with apple and caramel on the inside, and a pecan ice cream with some whipped cream and strawberries.
Whoa.
Wow.
My mouth is
Wonderful.
Yes.
And lastly, the other students that were a part of the team are in my afternoon class, so they couldn't be here this afternoon. But the other students were Angelina Yang, Jasmine Reyes, and Sui Thayer. And then Angelina made a sea bass with a apple and pickled carrot garnish with a dashi sauce and a parsnip puree.
Wow.
So the team did really well. I'm really proud of them, and they represented our professionalism of the program in Kansas City, Kansas Community College really well.
Congratulations. Wonderful.
I do want to add to the team that these are students, they're high school students. So some of them are in the morning group, some of them are afternoon. And in January, it was really the first time that they came together. Not only do they carry a heavy load here and at their high schools, but they would come in Monday through Thursday right after school, their high school, or they'd stay here till 8, 9 o'clock at night to practice. They make their dishes sound so simple, but they're very intricate and difficult to pull off, and they compete against, well, one of the teams won the national competition for Pro Start, so that's the level of competition that they are at. So congratulations, you guys.
Excellent.
We have a question.
I have a question.
Hold on a second.
I'm just curious, what high schools do you go to and what grades are you in?
I go to Wyandotte High School, and I'm a senior.
All right.
Also Wyandotte, and I'm a senior too.
Okay,
All
my
right.
And my next question is, what are your plans for next year?
I got a full ride for Johnson County, and I will be playing soccer, and I'm gonna go as criminal justice study.
Congratulations.
All right.
I get her when she's done. You can't.
I want to go to a 2-year first.
It's okay.
So here or either Johnson County and then go on to do report of investigative science.
We would love to have you here.
That's right. That's right. We'll twist your arm.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chef Justin or his team?
They've done a wonderful job. Congratulations, and we're looking forward to hearing great things from you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
And next up, I'm going to introduce Chef Richard McPeak and his students.
Thank you. My voice isn't that good, so I won't talk that long. That's because I have the seniors, and they have to convince me that they're ready to graduate. So on day one of semester with the seniors, there's 2 seniors that helped this morning. The seniors, I always tell them on day one, I'm not here to teach them. They're here to prove to me they're ready to graduate. So most of them are in their capstones, but I wanted to tell you about the young ladies. If you don't know, our program is heavily involved with Mary Beth Gentry with Young Women on the Move.
Yes.
So what I do is I donate the team to the Kansas City Opera Lyric raffle dinner. So that team raffled off for $1,500 for a dinner for 8. And then I take the team and we go to their house. We go to someone's house and we actually recook the whole dinner. And that money goes to the Lyric Opera, which also supports Young Women on the Move. So
Great.
we do a lot with Mary Beth.
All right.
Very good.
Wonderful.
Very good.
So the only thing I want to say, if you don't know how fun it is to watch culinary, make sure you go to the Hall of Fame because we cater the whole event.
All
It will be
right.
our 3rd year.
Good deal.
So I think I'm supposed to be in a meeting right now talking about it. But we are doing beef Wellington. All the students want to learn how to make a classic beef Wellington. So if you don't have tickets, get them now because it's going to sell out.
That's right.
So thanks for all your support from everybody. We appreciate it. Oh, this is Smiley, Christopher, and Big James.
All right.
So they're getting ready to graduate, right? And I believe, tell me if I'm out of turn, you're planning on opening a food truck, right?
Yes.
So we have 2 students getting ready to open up food trucks. And what are you going to do, Chris? You're going to come back and just work with me, right? So the seniors pulled together this morning to get you some stuff cooked, and now they're going to get back in class and get their work done. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and I want to congratulate the girls, the women's basketball team. I got to remember not to say girls.
And that's it for culinary.
Well, thank you so much. You did a wonderful job. We really enjoyed it this morning. I just wish we could stay for lunch. And
Thank you.
all right. Thank you so much. Now we will have recognition and presentation from the Lady Blue Devils 2019 NJCAA Division II National Champions. All right.
And their player of the year and their coach of the year.
All right.
Coach McKinstry.
Woo!
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm head coach Joe McKinstry. It's my assistant Tamika O'Neill, and a majority of our young ladies. We do have a few that are in class this morning, and were not able to be here. As you may have heard, 32-4, 2019 national champions. I just want to point out that in my 12 years as a basketball coach, both as an assistant and as a head coach, this is by far the most complete team that I've ever been around. Everything from how they interact with one another and get along as a group to how they work on a daily basis and put their best into everything that they do, to how they plan and prepare for opponents and upcoming games, to their execution. It's really been a dream group, and I'm just super excited and proud of them that they were able to accomplish what they were able to accomplish and see their hard work through and understand that you truly earn the opportunities that you work for. They won their last 7 games in a row, all but one against ranked opponents in the top 20 in the country. The one not ranked being their first opponent in the national tournament, so obviously a formidable opponent as well. They won 10 out of 11 games this year against ranked opponents, and I can assure you the one game that they did not win, they lost to the referees, not to the opponent. But at the national tournament, it was clear. I heard many, many times from 4-year coaches, from other programs, from many people associated with the tournament. It was clear that our group was the best group there. They were the most conditioned. They were the most fun to watch. They played together. They played hard, and just speaks to their abilities and their talents, and also probably most importantly how they conduct themselves as a group and how they interact with one another, get along. And I think now I'm certainly proud of the trophies and all the awards and recognition, but I think one of the big things is how much respect they garnered from hotel staff workers, restaurants that we stopped in, rest stops, gas stations. I actually, just on our way here, we ran into our bus driver who's taking the softball team today. Our bus driver from that week stopped me and wanted to know how he could get a T-shirt from our
That's
national
what I was going to
championship.
ask.
And so, you know, that's somebody that was with us for just 6 days. And this group is that fun to be around. And I'm very proud of that and proud of how they conduct themselves and understanding that we're not just representing ourselves, but also our families and obviously our institution and everybody associated with us. So very proud of them. Also, I want to give a special mention to Dr. Mosier. We really, really appreciate your support throughout the year and your attendance at our contests. I love following up after our games on your social media, and honestly, seeing some of the pictures and videos that you get is some of the best that we get to see throughout the year. So want to have our captain, Cameron Swanson, present you with a game ball signed by the members of the team. And just thank you very much for all your support. Thank you.
Gosh, that is so wonderful, and I will cherish this ball forever. You ladies did a wonderful job. I mean, just fantastic, and everything that Coach said is true. So being able to watch you and the intensity that you played with every single game was just incredible. And a lot of times I was glad I wasn't on the receiving side of some of those, passes to each other. But congratulations to all of you. You really earned it. So yeah, you've done fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And let's give them a standing applause. Congratulations.
Also, we do have a website open right now currently for anybody that wants to purchase championship gear. It is scheduled to close tomorrow night at midnight. I actually just sent an email this morning to Andrika Wilcoxon. Hopefully there is an email that goes out with the information, the website, as well as the access code to be able to do that. There is a small portion of each purchase that goes towards our program as a fundraiser as well. So everything is not only, we appreciate the support, but we also appreciate the support.
Right.
So, thank you.
Thank you
job,
very
Coach.
much. Wonderful. That is pretty awesome. All right. Do we have Dr. Stacy Tucker and Phi Theta Kappa in the room? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dean Brewer and I have the Phi Theta Kappa students here today. Last month, Dr. Krieger listed all the awards that they had won. Well, this month, I have the students here that are responsible for all of those awards. And so they're going to share a little bit about their experience. First, we have William Kelly. Many of you met Billy Kelly at the All-State Academic Team Luncheon in Topeka. And Billy will be a May graduate going to the University of Missouri. Billy?
Good morning.
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 I just want to firstly thank everyone who nominated me to be on the All-State Academic Team, and thank you for those who attended the event in Topeka. It was truly an honor to be recognized at that event and to be a part of such a great event. But I don't credit that to myself. I credit that success to Phi Theta Kappa and the honors program. Being a part of the honors program has helped me become successful in and out of the classroom. It also has helped me not successful now, but for success in the future. So it has helped me become more involved in the community with volunteering events, one of them being the electronic recycling event, where the community brought in all their electronic waste, and we sent those off to be recycled and reused in the community for a positive aspect. And so by doing all that, being a part of the Phi Theta Kappa has really made my 3 years at KCKCC memorable and has set me up for great success for my future. And I can't thank Dr. Stacy Tucker enough and what she does with Phi Theta Kappa and the honors program for everything that she does for me. So thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.
All right, wonderful, congratulations.
Tell us what you're going to do at University of Missouri. Can you tell the group what you're going to do?
I plan to study civil engineering.
All
Major
right.
in civil engineering, and hopefully minor in business administration or business management.
Great, you'll be a success.
Best wishes.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So next we have Ruby Dela Cruz. You may remember Ruby from last year. She was our Member of the Year. This year, she's our Officer of the Year. And so she was recognized, and her plaque is over there in the region for she got honorable mention for Officer of the Year on the state level. Ruby?
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. With Phi Theta Kappa being recognized for, or being an honorable mention for officer, right now, it's really nervous talking here. Even though one of our hallmarks is to, bring out leadership and fellowship and scholarship and what else? Service. See, that's how nervous I am. Phi Theta Kappa actually helped me sharpen and shape in me to become a little more confident in myself, to be more social and independent and hardworking. Back then, before me being in Phi Theta Kappa, I wouldn't even have a word out. I'd be shocked. There'd be no way of me speaking out to represent myself or bring out my points. But today in Phi Theta Kappa, they helped me become more for who I am and bring out my strengths and embrace my weaknesses in ways. I was given the chance to find who I am, find out what I'm great at, the gift that I was given to succeed in life. Looking through the eyes as an officer now, before as I was a student and a member of Phi Theta Kappa, I've followed and served Phi Theta Kappa and fellow new members to be inspired to be more than who they think they are now, to how they can be in the future. It resulted in bringing the word out to Phi Theta Kappa is not just a program, it's like a family where you bring strong bonds and don't feel any judgment with anybody else. They have open arms towards you and find out or help you become someone great and leave your mark in this world. you're given a second chance if you weren't given that chance before. There are many students in this program who they were not, let's say, in their past may not have been the best, but they are given this chance, this opportunity, where you can bring out more than who you are, prove to the people, prove to society that you are better than who they have seen you as before. PTK is where you are inspired and inspire others to risk and to bring action to their dreams and make them real. They learn the meaning of, like I said, service, leadership, scholarship, and fellowship, bring strong bonds, and develop unity and power to these strong minds and students that are given this chance to be in Phi Theta Kappa. Through Campus Wonderland, which was one of our projects, which was personally one of my favorite projects, we were learned the meaning of service. We learned the meaning of giving, the gift of giving, and learned that leadership is not just meaning to have authority, but to take out time for others than just for yourself. And they are who use their strengths and embrace their weaknesses, like I said before, to become stronger role models for others to become even greater. They create strong bonds without judgment and become a family who are there for each other and support each other. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
Great job.
Well, before you leave, tell us what's your next step.
My next step, I actually graduated here in 2017, well, at the Tech Center as a certified medical assistant. I am now going to nursing. That's what I'm doing.
All right.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Okay, we have Ravion Kirkland. Ravion is a Phi Theta Kappa officer, and she was also active in Skills USA last year.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I want to thank Dr. Stacy Tucker. This is my third year here at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. My first year was actually here at Tech. I did the office assistant program with Chris Ball, and I received my office assistant certificate. I then went over to main campus to major in police science. And my senior year in high school, Dr. Stacy, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I'm like, Mom, what am I going to do? I have Kansas City Community College, and then I have a university 3 hours away. What am I going to do? So she and my mom was like, well, reach out to Dr. Stacy Tucker. She's over the honors program. Look at your grades. Maybe everything outweighs. So that's what I did. I wasn't ready to transfer right away. So I came here. Dr. Stacy came to my school, my high school, and we did like a signing day. So I was really excited. She opened her doors for me, and I wasn't really involved in much in high school. And Phi Theta Kappa, the honors program itself, has definitely turned that over for me. Dr. Stacy Tucker, she let me know everything that they have to offer, and I was so dedicated. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do to involve myself within college, since I wasn't involved much in high school. I joined Phi Theta Kappa a year ago, and it has been the best thing that I've ever done within my school journey. I've helped within community service. I help within students that's transferring within Kansas City, Kansas Community College into our honors program and Phi Theta Kappa. So I've been really honored to do that. What I love doing as an officer is inducting other students and showing them what the program has to offer. Thursday, we have another induction coming up to induct more students into Phi Theta Kappa. So that's going to be at, what time? 6:30, if anyone would like to join us in Upper Jewel on main campus. And thank you.
Congratulations.
Whoa.
Hold on. Got a question.
Okay, now what? What comes next?
Okay, so I'm going to graduate here in December and transfer over to KU Edwards campus in Overland Park to major in criminal justice.
All right.
Right. Congratulations.
We have Ashley Nooner. Many of you met Ashley. She was our all-state academic team student. She's also involved in Skills USA, and that's been the past 2 years.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to start off by thanking both of these ladies behind me for keeping the honors program going, allowing students like myself that opportunity. My story's kind of like Ravion's. In high school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I was actually going into robotic engineering and heading off to K-State after I had graduated, but my friends had applied for Dr. Tucker's scholarship, and it was like kind of like, why not? Let's see if I get it, and ended up getting it. And you know, it really helped out my parents being able to stay home and help them for the last couple of years. It allowed me to save money, a lot of money, rather than go off to K-State. So yes, thank you to both of you. I want to thank all of you guys for coming to the luncheon for All-State Academics. That was such a great experience. I got to meet so many cool people, got to, you know, really get more in depth about politics. I've never really been into it, but actually going and being at, you know, the state, it was wow. It was just wow. I don't even know what to say about it. It was such a great experience. And thank you so much for the scholarship. I appreciate that. You know, I'm heading off to Missouri Western in the fall. I'll graduate here with an Associates in Police Science, and then I'll transfer there to major in criminal justice with a key focus on law enforcement and major in computer science.
All right.
Outstanding.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I ended up getting a full ride, so I will not have to pay for school at all.
Woo! All right.
Good job.
Not present today because I stressed her out, and she had to go to physiology, is Heaven Hansen. You may remember Heaven. She was our All-State Academic Team nominee 2 years ago.
Yes.
She graduated and got her EMT degree. She's working at Providence Medical Center, but most of the time you will see her as an EMT at Sporting KC, and she just got into the nursing program.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Any other questions? Because they're leaving to go to class.
Got to go to class.
Yep. Thank you for your time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. Great job. All right, next we have Shai Perry and Marquise Harris.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm the advisor for the KCKCC branch, student branch of AAUW. This year, the American Association of University Women is sending our largest group ever to the National Conference for College Women Student Leaders at the University of Maryland. 8 members will fly out to our nation's capital this May to learn how to create a meaningful impact on campus, create change in the community, and become prepared for their personal and professional success after graduation. Today, I would like to honor 3 of these ladies, Carol, Bailey, and Edith. Sorry. I've asked one of them to share her success story today. As the gallery intern, as you can tell, I'm so proud of these young women. As the gallery intern, she ensured that everything ran smoothly while I was gone on maternity leave for the gallery. I was inspired by her willingness to jump in and take a leadership role in my absence. This young woman was granted not 1, but 3 scholarships this spring from AAUW. Wow. Carol is dedicated to making a difference in her community, and I'm honored to know her.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Shine and ICC family, I call them like that, show me that I have to share my story, and that's what I'm going to do this morning. My name is Carol Painera. I'm a Honduran immigrant that came to the United States 6 years ago. My story began when I was 11 years old and my mother migrated to United States because of poverty back in my country. My grandparents were the ones that were overseeing me and my siblings. I finished high school in 2009, and I did not have the opportunity to finish my first 2 years of college due to all the criminal incidents in my country. My family was too worried to send me to the capital city of my country, and I can be on danger. That was on 2011. And that's when my mom decided to bring me and my siblings to the United States. Finally, after 11 years without seeing my mom, I was able to hug her again. I found freedom when I established myself in the United States. I was able to learn English at Kansas City, Kansas Community College through the English Speaker of Other Languages program in 2015. I started my curriculum classes, and I had to put double effort on everything compared with other students. I am the oldest of 3 children, and since we moved to Kansas, I have my sister's legal guardian. I support my sisters financially, and I also support my family back in Honduras because my mother never got to be a legal resident of this country, and she was sent back to Honduras. Today, I'm a proud student of Kansas City, Kansas Community College. I started an ESOL student, and now I'm majoring in respiratory therapy. Here, I met wonderful people who helped me to develop my maximum potential. I am glad to be the first woman in my family that will be able to graduate from college. Some of the activities, responsibilities, and campus involvement that I participate are: I am a student intern of Art Gallery and Intercultural Center for 2018 and 2019, and I hope I will continue being it. I'm the Kansas City, Kansas Community College International Student Organization and a Student Organization of Latinos Vice President. I'm part of the American Association of University Women, AAUW, and I'm the budget responsible. And I'm also part of Therapy Club. Being part of these activities and be an active member of these clubs have been very beneficial for me because I had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills. As Shai mentioned, I had 3 scholarships from AAUW, and before this, I never shared my story with nobody. I was ashamed, I was afraid, and I never thought that somebody would care about it. But because my ICC family helped me, I had these 3 awards. Same day that I'm traveled to Maryland for this convention, I'm becoming citizen of this wonderful country. I also went to Chicago and been part of the National Students Leadership Diversity Convention. That was a great experience. I've never been at a convention before. I've never been with too many people. And there, I noticed that I wasn't alone. There is a lot of people that has and share the same story as me, and then even worse stories. My future plans: complete the respiratory therapy program by December 2020, find a good job, possibly a local hospital, continue with a higher education and finish a bachelor's degree at Kansas University by 2021. Here, next semester I'm going to start the bridge program that KCKCC has with KU, and I hope I will succeed and finish that by 2021. And last but not least, bring my mom back to the United States.
Congratulations. We're sure that you're going to do all of that.
And thank you for sharing your story with us.
So, again, Marquise Harris, coordinator in the Intercultural Center, and I have the unique privilege of working with these young ladies each and every day. And also, we work together a lot with the American Association of University of Women, along with the International Student Organization and Student Organization of Latinos. And as the club advisor, I have the unique opportunity to understand their unique backgrounds and their unique stories that I had no idea what sometimes they go through, but working in that center gives me the privilege in order to do so, in order to learn, and in order to grow as a leader. And so with that being said, I'm not gonna be before you any longer. I wanna call up Angel Quintana. He is the president of these organizations, and he'll share just a brief highlight.
Hello, good morning, and I would like to thank the Board of Trustees and appreciate this opportunity given to me to speak before you. I am a first-generation student. This is my second year at KCKCC, and coming here, I did not know what to expect from these organizations. I started off my first year in 2017 as just a casual member of Student Organization of Latinos and International Student Organization. And my second year here, I took the privilege to step up as a role as a president of both of these organizations. And beyond these organizations, they kind of they gave me these skills that I believe that I could not get at any other university or college. And I believe that it's been preparing me and other students, not just in the organization, but otherwise throughout the whole community. And what's it called? My bad. And through these, before you have your sheets, we have events that have impacted some of these students in educational kind of base. And I believe that this is a great importance within KCKCC. I believe that it has brought a great diversity within Kansas City Community College. I believe that it also has welcomed me. I believe that this is where I feel that I belong, because I used to believe that community college was a bad thing just because my friends were going to universities. I believe that with the numbers of increasing of students coming here, it'll help build a better community. And as well within our organizations, our numbers have risen. As you can see, we all had a couple more, over 250 people attend our events. And this is a great change for us because every year we're gonna get better, as well as raising money within our organization and helping for scholarships. And that is our future plans for KCKCC for ISO and SO Student Organization of Latinos. And I would like to also say that since this is my second year, I will be finishing in the summer by taking a couple of courses to get an associate's in liberal arts. And by finishing that, I believe that KCKCC has prepared me to move on to the next level, which is transferring to K-State for a 5-year master's program into architecture.
Ooh, wow.
Is there any questions?
Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We are appreciative of all these things because it makes us feel good that we're helping the students. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
All right. Do we have any committee reports?
Madam President, I just had a couple of additional compliments to the theater department for Heathers. I thought that was going to be like Grease, and it wasn't quite that happy, but the music was good, the acting was excellent. Compliments to the theater department. And I would also like to compliment everyone who worked at the Ethnic Festival on Saturday. We are one family, and a family that can party with good food and good dancing and all kinds of exciting things. And Evelyn's husband was one of the recipient award winners, along with Hydra Nair, for leadership and diversity issues. So thank you everyone who was involved in that. It's a wonderful KCKCC tradition. I just wanted to
thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Finance Committee report. Just wanted to mention a couple of highlights and discussion points that we had during the April 9th Finance Committee meeting. We had some dialogue or conversation about the Summer Kids on Campus program, and we talked about the difference between this program and a similar program that is also on campus that targets the young people. We also spoke about the mid-year budget review and how that process was going. We got an update on the zero-based budgeting process. Let's see, also an update on the business continuity disaster recovery plan, the progress of that. Let's see, we received an update on the financial dashboard, and we also discussed the child care facility request for proposal, or RFP. And I won't go into great detail on that because I know that there will be some updates during this meeting, but at least wanted to highlight some of the key things that we discussed during that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? All right. All right, we'll move on to, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We now have a Student Senate report from Ms. Aaliyah Shah. Is she in the room today? Okay. Well, we'll move to the President's report. Dr. Greg Mosier.
Very good. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to acknowledge the work that the culinary students in the culinary program did this morning. The food was just outstanding as normal, and they always work so hard to put together a great meal and create the environment that it is, they're at work.
Right.
And they treat their classes as a job, so they're very well prepared for going out and being successful in the future. And I'd also like to just touch on a couple other items as well. You know, the basketball team winning the national championship is amazing, and having a national player of the year on our team and having the national coach of the year at KCKCC is just really a great honor, and it speaks to the caliber of work that we do here. And it's not just in athletics, right? As we just heard from our PTK students. PTK students are out there winning awards on an annual basis all the time. And then one other little bit of information, I'm just going to give you a teaser to next month's meeting. Had some email exchanges this weekend, and the KCKCC debate team, they went to the national championship for debate, and they swept all 3 debate events in an unprecedented fashion, bringing back 3 gold national titles and a debate national sweepstakes championship as a team. So just amazing. And at the college, Community College National Championship Tournament, there were 58 community colleges involved and nearly 400 students. So just amazing work. So they'll be here next month to be recognized, but it just shows the caliber of work we do across the institution with all of our students, and we really are changing lives, and that's why we are here. It is National Community College Month as well, so there are several events and activities taking place across the country and here at KCKCC. And I'd like to share just a few facts, and trustees, I placed a flyer at your seat, and for those in the audience, I printed some more. So if you would like some of this national information, please feel free to come up and take it, but leave the ball alone.
I think you should pass it around to all the trustees.
Did everyone get a little quick handle on it? All right, you got to feel it. Feels like gold. So. But community colleges are such a huge part of our country. And in total, there are over 1,050 community colleges across the country, and many people aren't aware of that. Both public community colleges, tribal, and independent, such as ourselves. Here you go, Chair Brown.
Thank you very much.
Make sure I get that back. We serve over 12 million students a year, over 7 million in credit courses and over 5 million in non-credit courses, so customized training, continuing education, and other types of programs. In 2017, the community colleges conferred 839,855 associate degrees, 549,149 certificates, and then some community colleges also offer baccalaureate degrees, mostly in technical areas, and the community colleges conferred over 23,000 bachelor's degrees. You know, and one of the things about community colleges, as our students mentioned, is that we're affordable. We give excellent education at a very affordable price. So at a national average, the 1-year tuition and fees for an in-district student is $3,660 a year. So if you think about the price of the 4 years going anywhere from $10,000, $15,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, it makes sense to start here. KCKCC resident tuition is $3,120 a year. So to get 30 credits at KCKCC, it only cost our students about $3,000. So over $500 under the national average. So we're very proud about that. And probably the other important thing, the community colleges put over $60 billion into the economy each year with tuition that is generated and salaries that are paid out and the purchase of goods and materials that help support our colleges. So we are a tremendous economic driver in our country. Being, excuse me, being Community College Month, we also had an HLC, which is our Higher Learning Commission annual conference, take place this month, and I'm sure Dr. Krieger will have more on that. And then also the American Association of Community Colleges is going on this weekend and is wrapping up today. So a lot of great conferences going on, sharing of best practices, and I'm glad to say that KCKCC has a team of faculty, staff, and administration that are attending both of those to bring back some additional best practices to what we already have. I'd like to take a moment and introduce an individual to you. We are really pleased and fortunate to have Dr. Mahir with us. He is our new Director of Institutional Effectiveness, and he comes to us with over 14 years of IRIE-related experience, and most recently was serving as the Assistant Vice Chancellor of Institutional Effectiveness for Arkansas State University. So coming from Arizona, we call that the other ASU. His doctoral dissertation is on the relationship between ethnicity and performance in AP courses, and is a 9-year longitudinal study. So he has great expertise in that area. He holds 2 master's degrees, one in computer science and his second one in integrated science and technology. Mahir has a passion for understanding the perplexities tied to student ethnicity and youth ethnic orientation, and how those experiences relate to an individual's understanding of the role and the significance of education. Dr. Mahir has worked on several multi-institutional collaborative projects, presented at multiple conferences, created his own software, and actually is in the process of writing his own book right now entitled Proximal Universe. So I'll let you visit with him about that book. So we're really glad and very fortunate to have Dr. here with us today and to become part of the Blue Devil family. So welcome, and would you like to say a word or two?
Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Mosher. You really make it easy for me to come to KCKCC, our conversations, and your perspective and approach towards students. I think we share lots of similarities in that. I had my own thoughts about my transition, but Dr. Mosher really made it easy. So I'm looking forward to working with the staff, wonderful staff, in fact, KCKCC, and of course, the board of trustees. So thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here.
Glad to have you here.
And then again, being National Community College Month, you know, myself and I know everyone here at the college firmly believes in the community part of community colleges. We have such a multi-dimensional mission. We serve students that are first generation or immigrants coming to the United States that want to get their general education and specific skills, maybe to go out into the workforce immediately, or maybe to go and continue their four-year degree. And we heard wonderful examples of both of those this morning. Serving the community and embracing what we do, we are continuing pursuing the child care RFP. That's a request for proposals for someone to come and reopen our child care center. And it's still in the confidential stages, but it is moving along very well, and it's right on track. A lot of great work by the committee on that, and by Mr. Mike Beach, who's doing a lot of the coordination of that along with the strategic plan. Again, committed to the community. We will be in downtown Wyandotte High School in fall 2019. We have the schedule that is out, and I believe students may be able to register for that this week, so they can go on, and the code is downtown. So we're excited about that. And then also continuing our forward movement to go out in the community and teaching classes at the Amazon facility, which is a great benefit for those workers and an opportunity for us to more serve the community. And then, as Trustee Criswell mentioned, we do have the Kids on Campus and the Saturday Academies here at KCKCC, and I just want to maybe clear up any confusion from last month's meeting and reinforce how committed we are to both of these programs. On an annual basis, we invest over $200,000 to support these programs, closer to probably $250,000. And that really works with the youth in our community, introducing them to college, also providing them a safe and a healthy place to stay during their summer months. And we serve over 300 youth in both of those programs, so really proud to be able to do that. There's so much more going on. I'll just let my wonderful cabinet share some of that information. And really what it boils down to is the faculty and staff and everyone in the Board of Trustees here at KCKCC. We really are changing people's lives, and there's really no other place in the country except for community colleges that you can do what we're doing. So thank you all very much for the work that you do, and that is the end of my report.
Any questions?
One question and a comment. Dr. Mercer, I didn't get the handout. If you have some more, could you
Yes, sir.
pass those down, please? Thank you. And just finally, to Dr. Mosher, the staff, the faculty, and certainly my colleagues, we saw on display here this morning just the tip of the iceberg of all of the good things that are really going on here, and all of the fantastic student growth and development. Wherever they're trying to get to in their lives, they can certainly get there from here. And so I'd just like to say, as a board, we can't take credit for all of that, or maybe even very much of it, but I think we certainly must be doing something right. And so I think as long as our focus and our goal remains student success, whatever this board does, if it furthers and forwards student success, we're doing the right things. So thank you for indulging the comment.
Thank you.
I couldn't agree more, and I fully appreciate the support of myself and my team and of the college initiatives by this board. You're truly incredible, so thank you very much for all you do.
And I would move
Thank you.
approval of the president's report.
Comment?
Yeah. I'd just like to add to what Trustee Ash said. I mean, say what you will about Kansas City, Kansas, and Wyandotte County. I'm going to say this is a great community with good people that are doing awesome things. That be it sports, be it academics, or just being people that love Wyandotte County and Kansas City, Kansas. I think it's really commendable that Kansas City, Kansas Community College can highlight these stories of these individuals that not just care about themselves, but care about Wyandotte County and want to really make a difference in our community through education. And so I appreciate the college and the work that staff does to really make sure that these students are successful, not just here at Kansas City, Kansas, but in life. So I just want to follow up with what Trustee Ash said, that Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and what our president said, is truly making a difference. And I hope that this community sees that right here in Kansas City, Kansas, you've got a jewel in this community college that is really putting people at the forefront of being able to add value to what we're trying to do here, not just at this college, but making Kansas City, Kansas a great place to live, work, and raise a family. So thank you to staff, our president, administration, and to our students for everything you're doing to make Kansas City, Kansas what we know it, what it is, and the best that it can be. So thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. I have a motion. Did I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the president's report.
You going to vote on it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Something on the agenda, just a second. Okay. Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we accept the president's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And you all are doing a wonderful job, and we are appreciative of all that you do. And now we will hear from the marketing committee. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is Community College Awareness Month. And to help celebrate, we have in that magical white box t-shirts for all of you Board of Trustee members, designed by our designers. Kim is here. It's just,
all right.
And Kelly has one on, Matt has one on, Dr. Darrett has one on. It's just supporting, it's a roadmap to success, basically, is the theme. So
Great.
Before you leave, if you would please grab one from the box and wear them proudly as you run around town supporting us.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have just a couple things to highlight because we do have a full presentation of our digital and our TV marketing that we're going to go over quickly. But just to highlight, our post about the women winning reached 34,027 people last month on Facebook, and our Snapchat filters have been viewed 422,000 times. So people are finding us online. Wow. A lot to do with our digital footprint that we're creating, growing, molding, working with it almost constantly to try to tweak it and get it as good as we can. And with that, I would like to introduce our team, digital and TV team, Sarah, and Matt. And I do have a packet for you guys, too, I'll bring up. Okay? Okay, come on up.
Morning, everybody. How's it going?
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Matt Plummer, the digital marketing manager at Scripps Media, the owners of 41 Action News. I can tell you that the post about reaching over 30,000 people, that's pretty remarkable because our 41 Action News posts on social media usually reach about 10,000, so that's pretty good. We've got almost 300,000 followers. So, but I just want to start off by saying we take great pride in marketing your school and having the opportunity. And after hearing all these stories, these success stories, it really brings everything to life, and hearing the people behind everything. And we look at numbers and analytics all day, and we're passionate about that, but just hearing the stories makes it that much more special, so we thank you for the opportunity. So some high-level details about the campaign. So we're going to talk about March 2018 through February 2019. It was truly a great year from a digital standpoint. We measure our success primarily on the front end based on what is the cost of driving somebody to your website and how many eyeballs can we reach in doing so. And not only that, but reaching the right person at the right time. So we're putting your ads in front of the right people in the right zip codes, as well as the right behaviors people have exhibited that they're in the market to go to school and they're interested and they're researching on the front end. So for the year, we reached a total of 20.8 million people, impressions served in your key areas of the city. This is a growth of 6.4 million impressions year over year. But more importantly, our campaign drove an increase of 34% of web traffic to KCKCC.edu. It's a total of almost 82,000 clicks for the year, which last year was 61,000. So pretty much roughly 20,000 additional potential students viewed your website from our campaign. One of our tactics that's very important to your digital campaign is search engine marketing. So anybody that's searching for, colleges in Kansas City, for example, the text ads that show up on the search engine, that's really key and critical for driving conversions and driving enrollment. So our click-through rate was 300% higher than the national average when compared to other education campaigns, other colleges. We do this through intense optimizations and really the knowledge we've learned over the past 4 years. We apply that year after year and learn what keywords are driving the best traffic to your website. The targeted display ads it's basically banner ads that we place on websites in front of potential students who have shown behaviors of researching colleges. The click-through rate of those ads were 55% higher than the national average when compared to other education campaigns. And a lot of that has to do with creative. So working hand in hand with your marketing staff and Tammy, we optimized and we changed up all the ads year over year. So that was huge. Not only that, on the back end of the reporting, seeing that the banner ads drove more students spending more time on site than somebody finding your website through, say, an organic search or a direct search. So we know that the front end we're getting the clicks, but when we peel back the layers of your website, we see that more time is spent on there through the ads that we deliver. So that was very encouraging, very encouraging. And television?
So TV continues to deliver your brand message to potential students and influencers with a total of 6,642 commercials, reaching nearly 2,800,000 impressions over 1 year, driving these viewers to your website and your admissions office. So if you look here on this graph, this is a 2-year example of the TV commercials. In March of 2017 through February 18th, we ran a total of 6,920 commercials, reaching nearly 2,900,000 impressions. This past year, March 18th through February 19th, we ran a total of 6,642 commercials, reaching nearly 2,800,000 impressions. The commercials are down this past year because we had a record political year, so a lot of the bonus commercials that we had in place were not able to run. But there's other ways that we pick up added value as far as commercial production and KC Live segments. So we'll go ahead and roll into the video of commercials that we ran and KC Live segments. Oh.
The teachers here at Kansas City, Kansas Community College really make an effort to make sure that you're learning the materials that you're able to fully understand, and it has prepared me to pass my boards.
It's different than other community colleges. It's more local.
Compete in the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Innovation Showcase.
A great opportunity for networking and expanding my business.
Entrepreneurs pitch their business to real investors to make their dreams happen. Build your future with Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Learn from hands-on technical instructors with real experience in their fields.
We all meld together because we need each other.
I chose KCKCC because I had heard a lot about the program's success. After meeting the faculty, they really care about my success, not only as a person, but as a student.
The advantage of hiring a KCK student is they've already experienced that. They root for one another.
They gave me that great basic nursing skill and knowledge. KCKCC gave me what I needed at the time as a non-traditional student.
Earn your opportunity at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. You belong here.
Making the transition from the military to college can be stressful, but Kansas City, Kansas Community College is here to help.
And we want to be the place that our veterans and service members and their family members and dependents are able to go to for questions, to get that assistance they need, to be able to feel comfortable stepping into the educational arena and going to college for the first time.
What happens when a college president and student body president swap places for a day? Well, KCKCC did just that.
It was a lot of fun. You know, it gave me an opportunity to get back in touch with the student experience while I was going through and taking her classes and taking notes. And it gave the student senate president, who was the one that we swapped with, a really unique opportunity to see what it's like in the day in the life of a president.
For more on Kansas City, Kansas Community College, you can of course visit them at their campus located on State Avenue in Kansas City, Kansas, or you can give them a call at the number on your screen there, or of course visit them online and learn more about cool opportunities like this.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. We're going to move back to digital.
All right, so a lot of these stats it's probably funner watching paint dry. So I'm going to move through these. It's just you didn't know you're joining a statistics class today, but we'll run through this quickly. So to make a holistic digital campaign, we make sure and we have a number of different resources and sources we use. So you have target display, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, and Instagram, and so all these work hand in hand together. But the high-level details, looking at growth over 2017, your targeted display impressions grew 66%, while clicks to website grew approximately 23,567 clicks, or 95%. Your cost per click for target display was reduced by 52%, or $1.06 per click. So that's really important because our entire goal is to drive as much traffic to your website at the most efficient price, and being able to reduce that by over $1. Your average cost per click to your website was under $2 this year, which has never been that low. So that just speaks to the efficiencies we've learned over the years, and we're really excited about that. YouTube impressions grew by 32%, while clicks to website grew by 3%. People watching videos are engrossed in the video. Not a lot of clicks on YouTube videos. It's more judged on, is the ad watched all the way through, so the completion rate. YouTube cost per click, it did increase slightly by 1.5%. As I mentioned earlier, your search engine marketing, which are the text ads on the search engines, impressions grew by 20%, and the clicks to website grew by 6,570. Search engine marketing cost per click was reduced by 37%, or $1.54 per click. Facebook and Instagram, so Facebook and Google, they're a duopoly. I mean, they own the market. They own advertising. The combined companies garner roughly 70% of all digital ad spend across the world. I mean, it's crazy, and you have Amazon sneaking the way in too. But with all the competition, I mean, so many companies are flooding into Facebook, and it creates it difficult to maintain costs because more competition, it drives prices up. So naturally, impressions declined by 7%, and clicks to website, as well as your cost per click increased by 58%. That sounds high, but the average increase cost per click on Facebook last year was over 100%. So we really tried our best to make sure we're being as efficient as possible, mixing the videos with the banner ads and the right people in the right places. So although it sounds high, relatively speaking, it was a good win. Next slide. So the key things we look at on the back end of the campaign are, the direct traffic being up 38%. That can speak to everything working together, and especially TV. I mean, TV is going to drive people. They hear in your commercials, they're going to go to kckcc.edu directly and not do a Google search for colleges in the area. So that being up 38% really speaks to the branding campaign and getting your message out there. Unique visits were up 11% year over year. That was a record, with 423,007 people hitting your website. New website visits was another record of 407,000 potential students. That was up 11%. We also like to look at the new student enrollment page views. All of our campaigns drive to the certifications and degrees page, and from there, we'd like to see, okay, what actions are taken beyond that. So seeing that the enrollment page views are up 6% was very encouraging and another record for the school. And that's, any questions on this page? Okay. So this slide really highlights the breakdown, the ethnicity breakdown. Now I will say, up to this point, we've focused all of our time and energy on reaching the right areas of the city, the right zip codes, with the right behaviors. So we haven't really focused on reaching ethnicity, but focusing on the areas of the city that we see that takes care of our goals. And so the ethnicity breakdown, we looked at census data. We looked at all the impressions that were delivered in every zip code, and we applied the census data for each zip code to come up with these numbers. Now, moving forward, I know there's we're going to be focusing more on reaching the Hispanic community, and so there are ways that we can target on the front end so we can know the exact breakdown when we look at your website traffic. But from the last couple of years, we've always focused on just reaching the right behavior, making sure we're reaching people that are in the market too and looking for a school. Looking at the census data across all these zip codes, 16% of your clicks to the website were Hispanic, 19% African American, and 65% white. Our impressions are primarily focused on Wyandotte County and the surrounding area. So for the most part, this mirrored the demographics of the areas. And then from a gender standpoint, 48% of your clicks were from men and 52% female. Okay. So our campaign's always changing. We're always adjusting our strategies based on the goals of the school. And moving forward, we've realized there's opportunities in the future to leverage technology that's developed. And one really exciting targeting strategy that we're going to employ in the future is over-the-top television or connected TV. A lot of people in the city are cutting the cord, and trying to scale back that $200 bill from Spectrum and Netflix and Sling TV. Who here's cut the cord? Anybody not have cable or satellite? So, and a lot of the students here will never have a cable subscription. It's just they've got YouTube TV and they've got Sling TV, and it's all they need is an internet connection. So, reaching students and parents, OTT is, the growth is enormous, right? What's really great about that is we can say, we want to put your commercial on a TV on the wall and also layer in behaviors and ethnicities so we can reach a specific person watching that commercial, right? Mm-hmm. They have shown that they're in the market to go to college, and they're also Hispanic or African American or whoever we're trying to reach. We know exactly who that is based on their IP address and their search behavior. That all gets integrated into the product. So it's really exciting for us in the future. Facebook, where we've also strategized and discussed doing some Hispanic targeting with Hispanic ads. Sarah is fluent in Spanish, so she'll help us write all the ads. And addressable geofencing is another tactic we're looking at employing in the future. There's some really cool strategies around that. We could look at the high schools in the area, looking at the student lists and their names and their addresses. We can plug that into our database and put ads into those households, those specific individuals. So it's kind of scary, but it makes our job pretty fun, and we can get your ads and, again, make your ads really efficient, make the money work as hard as possible. That's our goal for you. Spanish targeting ads, we've done a campaign in Florida, and we realized when we looked at the back-end reporting that Android mobile phones were heavily used by the Hispanic population. So we're going to look at that as another layer of doing the zip codes as well as Android phones. So And that was a really big key takeaway from the campaign we did down in Florida. So I mentioned Spanish language ads. So there's a lot of ways we can refine our tactics in our campaign to reach and mold it around your goals. Up to this point, let's drive enrollment, and now in the future that changes, we adjust with you as well. So, any questions?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
On the future opportunities page of your presentation, could you describe the difference between geofencing and addressable geofencing?
Yes. So geofencing is, it's the same concept, but addressable is the individual households. Okay. So we can have up to 1 million addresses that we upload into our database. So what happens is, let's say you have 50,000 specific addresses that are in whichever neighborhood. We plug that into our system. The algorithms match the personal address to the IP address of the house, and that's how we can then tap into the phones that enter the house, as well as the TVs that are being watched. So as soon as if my phone enters a house that's being addressable geofence, I will get a different ad than my wife being in the house. It knows if I'm gone, if my wife's the only one home, there will be, probably a lot of female-related ads. If I'm the only one home, it might be a truck ad, right? So it is that specific.
Very smart.
So.
Right. I think it's a request, comment/request, if you will. I really believe in the science behind digital marketing, and I'm a huge proponent of it. What I am wanting to see in the future is the correlation between the marketing efforts statistically and the enrollment statistics. Sure. It's not something, I'm not asking for it today, but in future presentations I would be very interested to understand what that baseline is, and then going forward to see those numbers, of course, move in the right direction based on those associations.
That's completely fair, and I will say we would love to partner with you on that. Up to this point, we measure the web traffic to certain landing pages. And we also have, it's called an action tag on the site that we placed on the enrollment button. As of right now, the architecture of the website, when you click on that enrollment button, it leads to a PDF page to that specific program. So it makes it a little bit challenging to follow that journey, right? From you're reaching the degree page and then going to enrollment page, and then if that PDF kind of throws off. What we could do, if that was an HTML, we could put a conversion tag on that form that gets filled out from that student, or a conversion tag, an action tag on a button on that enrollment page. So, but we're happy to do whatever we need to measure further. Again, our goal is your goal, and we want to be in this together. And moving forward, we've labeled our ad delivery by the tactics. So we have Facebook, you have SEM, target display. But we're going to take that a step further for you all. And since we're going to layer on some ethnicity targeting, Hispanics, African Americans, we're going to label those campaigns too by tactics, so you can see, okay, which students are hitting your website, not just which areas and which behaviors and tactics, but we want to peel back another layer to see what that journey is, another step. So.
Right, excellent effort. I'm suggesting that you have a conversation with Dr. Wilson as well as Ms. Bartunik, because the statistics are there. I think it's really a series of conversations so that we can look at the marketing, the digital marketing effort and enrollment as a baseline, and then going forward, see how those two things correlate based on the effectiveness of your digital advertising campaigns.
Sure. Gone are the days of my job being, hey, here's the clicks and here's the impressions. No, it's what is the ROI and what is the conversions that are driving, and that is more prevalent this year than any other year I've done this in the business. So totally well taken, and we will make those adjustments and be able to see that moving forward and make the changes we need to make to do that for you all.
Excellent. So. Thank you.
And if I may add to that a little bit, I commend Matt and Sarah and their team for really the previous strategy was market coverage. So during the last couple months, we've had some of the conversations that you are referring to, Trustee Criswell, and who is it reaching? You know, what do we know about the individual that it's reaching, and then how can we track them further through our process? So it is kind of a very complex web to travel through to get all the way to the enrollment button. But I'd say for like the last 2 months or so, we've been working together to try and strategize how do we do that, and we may need to change some of the things that we do internally, as Matt had mentioned, but that is definitely the forward direction that we're pursuing.
Right.
So you're right on target with that.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. And we would love, I mean, we can see on the front end all the clicks we're driving. We would love to see that as well. And so we can tell you all, hey, we drove X enrollment for you, and let's all celebrate. So.
Right, right. Excellent.
I have a question.
Yes.
A couple questions.
Okay.
You talked about marketing the basically Latino and African Americans. I mean, what does that look like specifically when you speak to that? I mean,
sure.
How is that being marketed, and have you involved the community in those conversations to see, I mean, what things would attract underrepresented classes of minorities to the marketing strategies? And is there a holistic approach, this is my second part of my question, to the marketing strategy when you talk about, here in Wyandotte County, there are a lot of people that may not have access to social media, to the internet. When you talked about unplugging, I don't know if our marketing department or the president, when we talk about a strategy, what have we done to have boots on the ground to reach those people that may not have access to some of those, those technologies that others would have, just based on their financial circumstances?
Sure. That's a great question. Up to this point, we've done our strategy has been reaching the areas, the zip codes that have a higher population, but not every tactic. I say tactic, like Google ads, you can't target by ethnicity. It's never been available, but targeting by ethnicity is available through Facebook, as well as our targeting display partner, as well as really those are the main two. So Instagram, Facebook, and our targeted display partner. So we leverage third-party data. So every website sells off the data about who their website visitors are. So the way we reach, say, the Hispanic community, is we say, here are the zip codes and the ages of individuals that we want to put these ads in front of, and then we layer on all that third-party data that the websites sell off that say, this is Matt Plummer, without my name being tied to that ID. You know everything about me but my name. We can't know their name. But we layer that onto our Facebook targeting as well as our target display. And you also keep in mind that geofencing in the future, when we can potentially leverage marketing lists of local schools and to have ads in those specific households, that's pretty powerful. But that is the challenge, like you mentioned, the access to internet sometimes. But I was just reading an eMarketer report before this, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it said the Hispanic community, roughly 80% have access to smartphone right now. And the heavy streamers of content, so not cable, not satellite, but the OTT is very prevalent. Watching videos, long-form content on your phone. Another app that we do not advertise on that's I'm not sure, I think it would be a direct relationship, is the WhatsApp, is highly prevalent with the Hispanic community. And I've never been on the WhatsApp, but that's what the report said. I don't know if you've all been on WhatsApp. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, that's a great question. Did I miss? I don't know if I answered that exactly how, but Tammy, you can.
So in addition to what we're doing with this team, we also have started to run multilingual commercials on regular plugged-in TV. So we are running that. We also are doing multilingual billboards, as well as when I'm buying ads in specific like USD 500, the the quarterly magazine that gets sent out to all the households. We're also doing some of that in multi-language. So we are trying to reach out, more broad and not depend on technology, to your point, Mr. Garner, to reach our entire population of our community. So we are doing a lot more visual ads also.
And if I can draw attention to page 23 in our board document, there's an image of our brand new billboard that will be going up on the expressway in between Argentine and KCK.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're trying to reach out in multiple
And that
avenues.
is a draft. That's not the final billboard,
Draft.
but yes, but the language will be the same.
Yeah.
We're just working on the finishing touches of it. And that will be up and running early May, a couple of weeks.
So this is our second billboard location as well, and
Well, second static, and then third overall. We also are running a digital.
Right, thank you for that, yeah. So firm believer in billboards and the traffic and the subliminal messaging that goes to people as they drive. And if you go across the expressway bridge heading south to Argentine, you're actually on the bridge that entire time, and that billboard is sitting right in front of you, so you can't really do anything psychologically except for stare at that billboard.
Yeah.
So we're really glad to get
crossing
that
the bridge.
spot. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, that's somewhat encouraging. It's just to hear that. I mean, when you talk about marketing, I guess for me, one of the things that was a concern is just when you talk about ethnicity, especially underrepresented class of minorities, people's economic status or their privilege. When you talk about marketing, just taking a hard look, a holistic approach at that dynamic. And this being a community college, one thing for me that I would like to see is just making sure that we're community driven. And when I say community driven, is really taking those opportunities to engage and involve the communities that we're seeking to target to see, what is of interest and what things of value could be achieved through leveraging those communication channels when you talk about marketing and getting more people here on our campus to improve their lives. So, but thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Well,
Final thought?
Yeah. Well, I do have another thing I want to mention is that we do offer Crystal promotions where Crystal Lampett, she is the host of 38 The Spot, and she comes out on location to host events or just to come at maybe whatever, that you want to promote. She can do that. And also to mention too is we have Sarah Plake coming out to MC the event next week, the Hall of Fame. So she's super excited to do that. She's actually from Kansas City, Kansas, so it's going to be a great benefit for her to MC. So yeah, we have lots of opportunities for us to partner as far as, of course, TV and then community service. So.
I mentioned the billboards too. If we could get the exact location, we can take it a step further and maybe fence around a local restaurant, and so that if somebody's passing that, they'll not only see it, but then they'll be followed on their phone by KCKCC ad, so we can talk about that too. So, all right.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I move approval of the marketing report.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the marketing report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. That was great information.
Good stuff.
Thank you. All right. Now we have the Vice President Academic Affairs report from Dr. Beth Krieger.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. It's so exciting to see all the different things that are going on here at KCKCC. And I'd like to start out to talk a little bit about the Higher Learning Commission Conference that we took a team to. And several members of the team are here. And I'd like them just to very quickly make a statement about something they took away from this conference. The Higher Learning Commission is our accrediting agency, and their conference was not this past weekend, but the weekend before in Chicago. Thankfully, it wasn't snowing when we were there, but I'll let the members of the team introduce themselves and just state a little bit of what they brought back.
Good morning. I'm Yelena Azegovich, and I'm actually going first because I have class at 11, so I'm going to buzz out of here real quickly. But it really was a fabulous conference. I think we learned a lot about what we're already doing in terms of, I know you have all heard me talk a lot about the marriage of assessment and good teaching, and that certainly was a huge component at this conference. And it really kind of reaffirmed what we've been doing already on campus, and the fact that good teaching and assessment informs curriculum, and it informs teaching, and it inspires learning. So there was a lot of sessions that I went to in particular that talked about marrying those two together, and also integrating active learning and even collaborative spaces, which we're also working to on campus as well. So it was really a very affirming conference, and great to be back in Chicago, which I lived there for 12 years and miss it. So thank you again for supporting this, and I'll hand it off to, looks like Dr. Bohm, and then I'll rush off to class. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Tiffany Bohm. I went to a lot of things on assessment as well. The one thing that I will share that was a little bit different that I went to a conference on was assigning credit hours or establishing work related to credit hours for online education. And in the past, we've kind of always done that just based on having the same competencies and outcomes within a course, but this was actually a process that has been used at multiple places, started at Creighton. The presentation was by the folks from Colby, but how they determine how many credit hours worth of work a student is doing. And so it talked about a lot of times there were very few situations they found where people weren't doing enough, but they said most people in a 3-hour class should have between 9,000 and 10,000 minutes worth of work. And they said we noticed that a lot of our online classes had 20, 21, 22,000 minutes worth of work. So it gave them a chance to look at and say, are we asking too much of our students? And for those where they weren't asking enough, do we need to beef up what we're doing? So that was a really interesting one, and I was able to get some information from a couple of them shared with Dr. Krieger that potentially we could look at. So, and thank you again for supporting us. I've been, I think, 3 times to HLC, and this was by far the best programming that they had. So it was great to be there.
Good morning. Cecilia Brewer, Academic Support and Assessment. This was my first time attending the HLC conference. Certainly appreciate the opportunity to attend. My reason for attending was twofold. First, as team lead for the HLC Academy, which you all will certainly start hearing more and seeing more about in your board report. Todd Miles and I went representing KCKCC, and we are one of 9 in this current cohort. I believe this is, they didn't know, but I believe this is probably about the 28th cohort HLC has for institutions, multi-year commitment, and our team will be returning in June to start our planning for what our project's going to be for the campus over these next couple of years. And then my other reason for attending was as we are ready to now turn the page on assessment at KCKCC and really address institutional level assessment and really building a culture of assessment, a positive culture of assessment here at the college. So got a lot of information, really pleased to know that everything that had been worked on prior to my arrival and everything that we've worked on this year, that we are really farther along than I initially thought when I started, and we're really moving in the right direction. So again, I appreciate the opportunity to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you very, very much for supporting us going to the HLC conference. And as Dean Brewer said, you'll hear more about the HLC Academy at some upcoming board meetings. We have yet to really meet together as a group and go through our first training. So once we have more details, we will be very excited to share them with you. I am extremely jazzed about HLC, so it's fun. All right, just briefly, some more exciting things going on in academic affairs. The Teach Award reception was on March 28th. And this is a peer-nominated award, and it's given to a full-time and an adjunct faculty member here. Professor Wiley Wright of Mortuary Science was the full-time instructor honored, and Herschel Martin in math, and many of you see him at the basketball games. He was the winner for the adjuncts. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of that. One of the basketball women who won, Cameron Swanson, she is a writing center peer tutor. And I understand that she is a very popular tutor in the center. So that, again, I think shows how well-rounded our students are. She's not only an athlete and a good student, but she's also giving back a lot by being a peer tutor in our writing center. Very exciting. Audio engineering student Anthony Casper won first prize in the mixing competition at the Audio Engineering Society Central Regional Audio Student Seminar. And I have some photos in there in the board report of him, and also unbeknownst to him and the judges, one of his instructors, Dr. Corbett, was one of the judges, and he did not realize that he was judging the student, Mr. Casper, and Mr. Casper did a really good job. So, okay, health professions. And at the end of my report, you'll find a letter that shows that our fire science program recently received notice that they are now a recognized United States Fire Administration Fire and Emergency Services higher education program. So that is very exciting. Please note there's one more Fire Academy weekend training. I've been to a couple of them. They're pretty exciting, and you are invited to go as well. And the last one is on May 4th and 5th. And there's more information on that in the board packet, but they're going to be doing a live fire training evolution, I believe, on Sunday, and those are very exciting. KCKCC Practical Nursing Program received a Certificate of Excellence for having a national board pass rates above both the Kansas and the national percentages. The KCKCC program is 90.38% pass rate for 2018. Let's give them a hand. Other upcoming health profession events, and there are some student celebrations going on. The respiratory therapy pinning is Tuesday, May 21st, as is the physical therapy assistant pinning. That's also on May 21st. Details are in your board packet. And then the nursing pinnings are on Wednesday, May 22nd. So that will be an exciting week to celebrate our students. The Criminal Justice Program is very thankful for the car that was donated by the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Department. It's in the process of being prepared for use by the program. It's going to be used for training, and the students and the instructors are excited about this addition to the program. Some more upcoming events. We have the Narton Dance Academy will perform a classical Eastern Indian dance on Saturday, April 20th. Tickets are available at the Intercultural Center, and this is a fundraiser for scholarships. And I haven't been, but I've got it on my calendar, and I understand it's a really, really fun event. So I encourage you to go. Some exciting things about students having internships and apprenticeships. As you know, it's really important for our students to get this kind of experience. CAD student Sarah Pace excuse me, and Spencer Hildebrand have accepted summer internships at Burns and McDonald, and one of our Wyandotte High School students, Manuel Escobedo, accepted a spring semester internship at J.E. Dunn. So these are really good opportunities for our students to explore engineering careers. And then we also have another student, Garrett McLaren, who previously did an internship at Cerner. He's now accepted a summer apprenticeship with Cerner. So I think that's very exciting as well. Jared Gaumond, a graduate of the Construction Technology Program, has just been hired with KAAZ Construction in Leavenworth. The student, Mr. Gaumond, was able to test into the union, and the union will be counting the hours in his class for credit hours for experience. So that's pretty exciting when you can have something like that happen. Another upcoming event is the Kansas City Career Expo on Thursday, the 25th of April. And this is a community event that is used to assist in recruiting new students, increase the awareness of college programs, and foster relationships with business and industry. So I'm trying to keep it brief today. Do you have any questions on my report? Thank you so much for your interest. Again, a lot of my thunder was stolen at the beginning of this program, and I'm okay with that.
Any questions?
I have a brief one. Will we have a table at the expo?
That, I would need to defer to Dr. Mosier for that.
I can double check on that.
Okay, I just think we could be there with handouts.
We're co-sponsoring it.
Right.
So we'll have information probably around the venue, KCKCC information. Okay.
Great. Any other questions? Can I get a motion to accept the report? It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much.
All right, and now we will have a report from the Student Affairs, Dr. Delphia Wilson. That doesn't look like Dr. Wilson, but.
Again, I'm here as her doppelganger. Good morning and happy Community College Awareness Day. As you can see, I'm here to represent Student Affairs in Dr. Wilson's absence, who was not able to be here. You do have our report in front of you. However, I would like to highlight a few items from the report. March 23rd through the 24th, the Veteran Center staff and the new student president of our Student Veterans Association attended the Student Veterans Association Consortium hosted by K-State. And it was attended by quite a few different colleges. It was a great opportunity for our student organization to meet with other organizations to look at how we can improve ours and develop our organization here on our campus. Another thing I would like to highlight from the veterans area is that on May 7th, the Veterans Center, along with the Student Association, is hosting an inaugural Student Veterans Association dinner to honor our military and veteran independent students. And our very own Trustee Garner will be our speaker for that event, so we hope that you're able to attend that. And then the last thing that I'd like to share before you have any questions is that tomorrow we'll be having our annual health fair. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight about that is that we're going to have for the first time a mobile mammogram truck, an effort to help our community in reducing the large amount of breast cancer in the women of Wyandotte County. So we're excited that our campus is able to contribute to that effort and help our community. So those are things that I wanted to highlight. Do you have any questions that I can address?
Any questions?
No, just a comment. The mobile mammogram facility, if you will, I just wanted to commend you on that, because I think that breast cancer is a very serious thing, whether we're talking about in Wyandotte County or any other community. So it's good to see that we're doing our part to make sure that we create awareness and and such. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we're really proud of that effort. Kim has done a great job.
Great.
And I would like to compliment you, given the fact that Wyandotte County is consistently in the bottom of being a healthy county in the state of Kansas, all the health education, informally and formally, we can do, I think the better off we are out in the community, as well as showing that we're in a leadership position for that here at the college.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right.
Move for approval of report.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll try to take my seat without falling.
All right, now we have a report for the Information Services.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You should have my report available, and I'll take any questions. I have one thing I wanted to mention. It's not actually on the report. We just finished this project end of March, beginning of April. That was to move well, not necessarily move, but restructure our backups for our virtual servers and physical servers that we have in KCKCC. As part of the restructure, well, let me start where we started. We started basically with all our eggs in one basket. So everything that was on our production network, as far as virtual machines go and servers, was also in the same room with the backups. So if we had an issue in that data center, then we lost both the production and the backup environment. So with the project, we now have 3 copies of backups. None of those backups live in the data center. There is an old, we call it a network closet. It was the old data center that's up in the business office. That's where the main backup system is at. And then from there, there's a copy that's housed there, and then there's a copy that's sent every night and during the weekend days. Copies are sent from main campus to the main campus location to TEC, to the data center we have here, and then we're also sending another copy up to Leavenworth. So in the event that something goes wrong on main campus, we have a backup copy in 2 other locations, so we could at worst lose 2 locations. So and like I say, we started this project because we had, as I say, all eggs in one basket. So as we're looking towards disaster recovery and things like that, this is just a small step. The next step will be to look at options to either co-locate in another data center or another location, or even maybe move backup copies to the cloud that we could actually spin up in case the data center at KCKCC is down or our internet connection is down for a period of time. So, and then there was another small, Pat Kelly, our academic support coordinator, has been having some classes revolving around Teams, Microsoft Teams. There's Skype for Business and then Microsoft Teams. Microsoft's plan is to eventually move away from Skype for Business for the most part. So we've been teaching some classes to faculty and staff on how to use Teams and things like that, because here in the next month to 2 months, we're going to make that move with Microsoft and do away with Skype for Business on campus and just move on with Teams. So, but if you have any questions on the report, I'll be glad to answer them.
I'd just like to commend Peter on the work that he has done. Previously, as Peter mentioned, our main network drive and our servers were in the same room as the backup system. So if we had a fire or a tornadic event, we would have lost all of our data, and we would have had nothing moving forward, trying to go back to maybe some tapes or something to get the system back up and running. So our downtime could have been a very long time. So by the actions that he and his team have taken, if there were a catastrophic event at one of our locations that we definitely hope not to ever happen, we would be able to be back up and running and have all of our data secured in a relatively short period of time. So that's what he's talking about is extremely important to the institution and our business continuity plan.
Dr. Mosier, thank you for bringing up the tapes. I forgot to mention that. We do finally roll off our backups to a tape at some point, but it's really not feasible to restore from those. We have the single file server that houses everyone's redirected documents and desktop locations and things like that. And to bring that back from tape could take 2 or 3 days just to bring that back from tape. So it's really not an option. And we're actually looking to go to enough disk space or move to the cloud so we can eliminate the use of tape. Because even to store tape, after storing tape 3 to 4 years, there's a very small chance that you'll actually be able to take that tape, insert it, and actually be able to read any data from it anyway. So we just want to eliminate tape altogether.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, good work.
Move for approval of report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll have the Human Resources Officer report.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, you all have my report in front of you. I just want to highlight a few items in the report. First, with the performance evaluations, I would like to highlight at least 3 highlights that aren't listed on the report as it relates to performance evaluation. So in terms of some of the changes that we've made, we have reduced the number of forms that we have. So we're going to 1 form so that we're more consistent in how we measure employee performance based upon the employee category. So there will be 1 form for all employees. We have also implemented a self-evaluation form that will be completed as well prior to the form, so that those conversations around performance are more collaborative between the employee and supervisor. And we also will be looking at and reevaluating the merit leave process. So we've worked with the staff senate to identify individuals that will participate on a task force and looking at this year how or what changes we may need to make to merit leave so we can better or more effectively reward our employees that have great performance. So those are some of the highlights that aren't listed here on the report. With regards to career opening webpage, I just want to, I believe it was a community member, just really appreciate their feedback in terms of our webpage and how that looks to individual applicants. So we've made some updates to that change. We're updates to the web page so that applicants can easily search. It's more visibly appealing, and it just makes it easier for them to apply as opposed to searching through. At the time, there were 43 positions listed with no dates, no dates in terms of when those positions were open. So we really wanted to make it easier for individuals to apply and not make it more difficult for them. So that's just a screenshot there that you have of the new web page for career openings. And then as far as the quarterly employee survey reports, we had 4 employees, and these are voluntary, 4 employees that completed our new employee survey. Looks like we are doing well in acclimating individuals into KCKCC. And then, so there were 4 individuals that completed that survey. And then as far as the exit interview survey, we had 2 individuals that completed that survey for the quarter. So I'll open it up if you have any questions for me.
Just on these surveys, is there anything, maybe I missed it, that surveys or gauges the mood of current employees in that regard?
So we use the Noel Levitt survey, which I think it was in April of 2018, where we surveyed all of our current employees. And so we plan to continue to do that. I think we are on a 3-year cycle. So within that time, once the survey is completed, then we will take action on those survey results, and then we will resurvey or send out the survey again on a 3-year cycle.
And all of these are voluntary, I assume.
They are
voluntary. Are those exit, when you do the people who leave, are those personal interviews, or is that a written response also?
We open it up to personal interviews. Okay. However, individuals have chosen to complete the survey online.
Pretty hard to read anything into those numbers with that 2.
Yeah, with only 2.
Yeah. Appreciate you doing it, though. I think it's important to reach out and find out how people are feeling. So right. Thank you.
And we do with these surveys, we do provide feedback, especially with the exit interviews. We provide feedback to the supervisors if there's anything that comes up specific to a supervisor or to the college in general.
And you do these quarterly. I'll have to tell you, I think that's the first time I've ever seen one of these. Maybe Don Ash can remember some other ones. So I'm not sure the board's ever had a chance to look at these exit interviews and quarterly reports. So thank you for providing that for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Interesting.
Any other questions?
My compliments on the collaborative model. I think you can, that's exciting for employees to be a part of determining those kinds of things. So thanks for doing that. I appreciate it.
I should also say, Madam Chair, I didn't say it during the committee meeting, but I want to compliment Christina and the work she did on our policies. Yes. There are a number in the pipeline now. We did review 4 at the policy meeting last Thursday, and this morning she informed us there are 14 more that are lined up. So we are making progress on policies, and I just appreciate the work you're doing on that. I know it's not easy, it's time consuming, so thank you.
And I would like to say for the policies, it truly is a team effort. It is not just me. So I appreciate all of the team that's been helping to work through these policies and get it done.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to accept?
So moved. Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, we are ready for our Finance and Administrative Services report.
Thank you for this opportunity. I apologize for my voice. I'm still struggling with probably a allergy-induced cold. I'll try to get through this. Just a couple of highlights. You have my report in front of you. Again, as mentioned by Trustee Criswell, the reports that we gave to the Finance Committee meeting last week is that we're basically through our mid-year budget review and don't have anything on that report as a whole for the institution to suggest that we won't be in compliance with our budget and our budget expending. Also, as a reminder to the board, one of the controls that we have built into the budget system, if you will, or the procurement system at the college is a budgetary control that will not allow departments or organizations within the college to spend money beyond their budget limit. So if they're going to produce a requisition or a purchase order that would put them over budget, it simply won't allow it to go through. Until such time as they have a conversation with the finance office to figure out where the budget's going to come from. So that very critical control, I think, when it comes to budget spending. Also, we're well launched into our fiscal year 2019-2020 zero-based budgeting process. To this afternoon will actually be the second of what was going to be 2, but might turn out to be 3, a budget review or presentation processes or events where departments will be able to present their budgets to the cabinet, extended cabinet actually, for consideration as we start to contemplate building the next year's budget. Various departments continue to do great work in their area. A couple of highlights with our buildings and grounds particularly is that they're balancing a significant number of projects and have a few more on their plate between now and the end of the year and or during the summer. I commend Jeff Sixta and his team for great work being done around campus to beautify campus, to meet the needs, our growing needs, and various other projects that are going on. Some that are highlights or noteworthy as you walk around campus or the various campuses of the college is the continuation of the student success or student advising area. We're in phase 2 of that project and it's moving along nicely. We're also building out the fire science building and meeting the requirements of that initial phase of the remodel there. And we're rebuilding out, as you're aware, the child care center and its complete renovation or remodel. If you haven't had a chance to see it, they've already installed that south door, which is really nice. That was required to be done in order for that center to meet licensing and fire code or safety code relative to having it as a center. The south bridge of the lake is completely designed and put together and is just going to be installed as soon as we have crews, now that the weather's turning nicely, as soon as we have crews with the capacity to get that bridge installed. And we have a number of benches that have already been fabricated and ready for installation in various locations in campus for additional seating for students in the hallways and corridors.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Our police department continues to do great in their trainings, going through required Clery trainings and other in-service required trainings that they need to in order to maintain credential and be on top of best practices relative to their responsibilities and jobs. One of the great things that we have an opportunity to do here, as I was talking with Chief Snyder yesterday, is we've been asked as of late to host the FBINAA conference next month here on our campus. This is a training that is specifically designated to help officers around the country of colleges and universities deal with the potential threats of on-campus shootings and bombings. This will bring about 250-ish officers from around the country here to KCKCC and Kansas City, Kansas for that event. And that'll be hosted next month. right during the week of graduation. Yes, of course. Just a highlight in the financial statements for all of the board to note. We continue to track from a budget perspective very, very nicely. Our expenses are just under 70% on the year to date at the end of March, which would at normal tracking would be 75% spent. So we're ahead of the game. This being said, as the conservative chief financial officer that I am and that you want me to be, I would I would be amiss if I didn't sound kind of a warning or go on record relative to this type of potential surplus. Unanticipated or unbudgeted surpluses are one-time money. They should not ever be construed that this is going to happen year over year over year. Therefore, any type of anticipated surplus of this nature ought to be built in for future projects, put into reserves and anticipated for future projects or one-time specific needs as designated by the Board of Trustees. I felt like I needed to say that. We have a lot of one-time projects on our plate that are coming up that are going to require a lot of money. We have a need to continue to build up our reserves in order for them to be at a level that President and I feel are best practice, and the Finance Committee feel like are best practice. And we've provided the Finance Committee with a sheet of future potential needs, financial needs. And so the hope is, and the anticipation with any type of potential surplus that we might be created out of the budget this year, be that it go to surplus and be used for one-time events or for future projects. Any questions? That is my report.
I noticed in the Buildings and Grounds report that lift in the Humanities building, that has been there forever. Was it ever functional? I'm glad to see it's being taken out on a wall, is being placed there.
At one point in time it was functional, but
Okay.
it wasn't
Limited.
necessary with the elevator right there. So it was just better to remove it. It was posing a safety threat.
Okay, I was pleased to see that because it's been there forever, and I don't think I ever saw anyone on it. And then the other thing, just kind of educate me, on the bookstore report, it says summer adoptions are at 76.99. What kind of adoptions are they talking about? And it says we are working with coordinators to complete the rest, and I apologize if that seems like an on-the-spot question there because, but...
I would have to check with Casey Meyer about what the
yeah.
terminology adoptions means.
Because adoption of what? So textbook
Yeah.
adoptions. Okay, from. Okay.
My take on it, that's the adoption of textbooks that will be required for the summer term. So they've received 76% of those.
Okay.
Textbook requests for classes that are on the schedule.
Okay, and I was thinking of adoption in a different term. All right, thank you.
Yeah, we're just adopting a book.
Who are they adopting?
We may change the language of that to just simply state that they've received 77% of their textbooks requests.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That might be a better, clearer way to put it.
I move approval of the report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. All right, we don't have any unfinished business, so we will move to the new business. We have a couple of resolutions.
Yes, thank you, Chair Brown. Of course, we have a big event coming up on April 27th, which is our Mid-America Education Hall of Fame and our annual scholarship event. So I have a resolution for the distribution of alcohol for that evening, and I'll read it to you. A resolution regarding the consumption of alcoholic liquor in accordance with KSA 41-719D, whereas Kansas statutes anointed 41-719D prohibits the consumption of alcoholic liquor on public property except where expressly permitted by law, and whereas Kansas City, Kansas Community College, KCKCC, is authorized under Kansas law to exempt from the provisions of KSA 41-719D specified property which is under the control of the KCKCC Board of Trustees and which is not used for classroom instruction. Now therefore be it resolved by the KCKCC Board of Trustees, Section 1, Exemption Saturday, April 27th, 2019, from 5:30 to 10 o'clock p.m. The requested exempted area is the large multi-purpose room and the adjoining foyer at the Dr. Thomas R. Burke Technical Education Center, 6565 State Avenue, Kansas City, Kansas, from the requirement of KSA 41-719D. Section 2, this exemption is granted in connection with the Mid-America Education Hall of Fame Awards and Scholarship event.
Can I have a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Great, thank you very much. We have a second resolution for banking signatories. The Board of Trustees for Kansas City, Kansas Community College hereby moves and approves the change of signatories for the following bank depositories effective with board approval April 16th, 2019. Dr. Greg Mosier, President, Mr. Mike Beach, Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Beth Ann Krieger, Vice President of Academic Affairs, removing the signature of Dr. Ed Kramer, Interim VPAA. Bank depositories, UMB, Payroll Fund, Liberty Bank and Trust, General Fund, Security Bank, General Fund, Tech Fund, Student Union Revenue Fund, Country Club Bank, Incidental Fund, Adult and Continuing Education Fund, and Bank of Labor, Board Scholarship, Federal Program Funds, and Capital Outlay Fund.
All right.
Move approval of the resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the resolution, approve of bank signatures. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now, we need to move in an executive session, and it's for personnel matters of non-elected personnel to protect the privacy rights of the persons to be discussed. Do we have any idea how long? 15 minutes. It is.
Is there action to follow?
No
action.
No action to follow.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we move to executive session. No action to follow. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Will we return at 11:25? Is that right?
Yeah, it's plenty of time.
Okay. Thank you.
basketball bat.
Well, that's great.
That is.
It's a great gift. So we've all got the basketball.
At least a little one.
We got a little one.
Before I ask for adjourn, okay. Okay. Yep. Who's gonna make it? You?
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna call the meeting back to order. We have an announcement first.
Before we adjourn, I'd just like to announce a reminder that we do have the Blue Devil 5K and the Kids Trot coming up. It's Saturday, May 4th at 8 a.m. With a child care program. And the TEC is responsible for the participation medals. And then, Rob, do we have a location for that?
Oh, yes. It starts right in front of the Health Professionals Building, and it ends over that.
Okay. It starts right at the Health Professions Building for people who are interested.
Yes, it starts right in our parking lot in front of the Health Professions Building, and then throughout the route, we end down that service road by outside the deli, the backside of the Math and Science Building. And then pancake breakfast that we serve, kind of like Chris Cakes is today, is in the lower level deli. And then we have awards, and then we have door prizes, things of that nature.
All right, very good. Sounds like fun. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
And don't forget your T-shirts.
All right. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll stay here.